Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Make sure you go on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, YouTube. Type in Po Politickin, list some of my interviews since 2008. I think I got like 600 interviews. So 1-2-1-2, I'm place to be with XP The Marxman. How you doing, bro?
What's good, man? What's good? I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I like that name. Let us know what that's about.
Well, man, comes from Express. Used to call me Express, back in the day, high school shit, you know what I mean, in the ciphers or whatnot. But then one of my best friends who's no longer here with us, rest in peace, he used to call me XP. So long story short, I just kept running with XP and I just cut the press out of it, Express, you know what I mean? So it just became XP. And then the Marxman got added a couple years later, just due to the accuracy, the sharpness, always on point, never miss a target, you know what I mean, when it comes to, kicking this rap shit. So it blended right. So XP The Marxman, it's been that for years.
You from LA?
I'm from LA, brother. I'm born and raised from, Mexican household. Both of my parents were a part of LA street culture, gang shit, uncles, aunts, cousins and shit. But yeah, man, I'm just, I'm a Mexican from LA, but, I've adapted to the real, I want to say the essence of hip hop, you know what I mean? Just like some East Coast, kind of beats, boom bap, kind of beats.
I was going to ask you, I was going to say, where you get them bars from? You got those bars.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just, I gravitated towards just the essence of it, man. Just like, the skill aspect of it. Because obviously, I'm from the West Coast, LA, to be exact. And to have like Snoop and Dre and all that stuff, like, I love that stuff. Like, I grew up on that. So to have a little bit of that mixed in with a little bit of some Wu-Tang and some Biggie and just having all this music to really be a sponge to at that time, I guess this is what you get. I'm a product of 90s, early 90s, late 90s, and I won't even speak about the 2000s, but I'm just a product of real shit, you know what I mean?
So how did you get into music?
Man, just honestly, at one point, music was pretty much the only thing that I had, and that I was really seeing elevation in, because academically I wasn't doing well. In sports, I played some football, some Pop Warner football and shit like that, but it wasn't anything to where I could see myself in the NFL. I played basketball. I did a lot of that stuff, but I didn't see a future in it. But once I started tapping into this hip hop stuff, man, I seen the elevation, and it just gradually grew from that time,
And what is hip hop to you?
It's my life, man. This is what I wake up doing. I go to sleep doing. I'm fully independent. I put out my own shit, everything, man. So I know how it is, man, to get 2 likes, when you drop an album, and I know how it is to get 200 likes, bro. So I've been doing this shit since slinging, mixtapes out of the trunk, bro. Like, there wasn't a MySpace, there wasn't a YouTube, there wasn't a Facebook, and there wasn't an IG. There wasn't.
What year you started?
98, bro, is when I started taking this shit really seriously.
You been in the game
I was
for
a closet rapper. Yeah, bro. I'm 33 years old, bro. You know what I mean? So, I was always the youngster growing up amongst older men, but they see me as the same, you know what I mean? Because my mind state was just on that shit where you had to grow up early. You had to be attentive to what's happening all around you at all times early, you know what I mean? So I guess absorbing all that shit, listening to East Coast, West Coast hip hop, it molded what you see now and what you hear now, you know what I mean? And for years, even if you go back on my older shit from like 98, 99, you'll see that nothing's ever changed. Like I've always kept it raw, always try to keep it on that elevated hip hop shit, you know, whether it be topical, whether it's on some, you know, shit that's happening for the times, or whether it's just I want to bar out on a beat, you know. So I'm always gonna carry that essence of trying to bar out, you know, no matter what. But it's mainly gonna
What you
be
mean? They might not understand what you mean. What you mean by bar out?
like I just want to rap, you know what I mean? Let me hear a beat, and if it's hard, I just want to rap. So I have those kind of songs, and I got the other kind of songs where I'm talking about what's happening in the times right now, you know, the systemic racism, white privilege, just all the shit that's happening. Because the way I see it, you know, I come from a place where the black and brown, there's a division right there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
you
it comes
LA.
from the jails and shit, you know what I mean? It comes from the jails and shit.
At the end of the day, bro,
At the end of the day, you know, I always want to carry that into my music too. You know, the unity between the black and brown, man. You know,
Oh, so
so
I mean, that was. I remember the first time I heard that. That was like Pac was saying it. That's the first
yeah,
time I
bro.
heard it.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, in LA, the black and brown situation is way different from the East Coast of black and brown brothers, man. Because you know, you got Puerto Ricans, you
Yeah,
got Dominicans and stuff. Like out here, you just got like, you know, the Mexicans, you got El
Salvadorians.
Salvadorianos. Yeah, so you got like but it's just like out there, it's so mixed culture that you could get a Latino in a
Yeah, and they
black
like
band.
Afro Latinos too.
Yeah, they Afro Latino. So it's like, you know, it's just a different way of upbringing. And till this day, you don't hear me use the N-word in my music because of that fact. I hold a high respect, you know, for my black brothers, man, that I know my place in this hip hop shit. And I know if I didn't grow up around it, I shouldn't be saying it. Obviously, you know, my stepbrother's, he's half black, you know what I mean? And I grew up around a lot of the brothers, man, and you know, they hold me really sincere, but I just always knew my place, bro, when it came to using that word in my music, because I didn't come from that, you know what I mean? And I don't wanna overstep any boundaries or anything like that, because at the end of the day, this is a black art form, and I want to cater to that as much as I can. So when it comes to, you know, police brutality and it comes to all this shit, I'm gonna speak out on it, man, because I've always been y'all neighbor, man. You know, Mexicans are always gonna be the neighbors, or I don't even want to say Mexicans. I'm gonna say Latinos have always been neighbors to our black brothers in any community, and we face the same injustices as you guys. So it's like at the same time, I want to, you know, I want to point that out, because there's too much of this fucking division shit happening. Like, oh well, you know, we endured this or we endured that. We've all endured some shit, and I'm willing to fight to let it be known that this is what we have to face every day as being a black or brown man, you know, in the society nowadays. You know what I mean? So you'll hear that in my music. You'll hear some shit where like I'm just trying to bar out, like I said, you know, I just want to rap. You know what I mean? And I'm just really trying to stretch it in all boundaries, man. I don't want to say I'm just a hip hop artist. I say I'm just an all around artist, because I'm trying to sing. I'm trying to do it all, man. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. I noticed like another difference between like the West Coast and the East Coast. I noticed like the West Coast kind of have like Chicano rap too.
Oh yeah.
So
See,
it's like a whole, I don't know, people might even know that, but it's like a whole subculture of Chicano
yeah,
rap.
bro.
I remember I used to listen to like, I think Lil Rob,
Yeah, Lil Rob.
Alpha
They got
Mexican. Yeah.
oh hell yeah, SPM and Kid Frost and all that stuff. Like, yeah, man, that's I, you know, um, coming from LA, I guess automatically, you know, they think, you know, you know, I'm gonna rap like that. But I guess I have to bring that whole new shit to the table, man. And much love to all my brothers out there that are in the hip hop community and shit like that. here in LA. But I never gravitated towards that sound. You know, I grew up off that sound. You know, my cousins and everybody, you know, they listen to that stuff. I got respect for it. But that's just never been my lane, man.
I would say, you know? So what actually made you want to MC? Like, you like, shit, I'm gonna do this for a career full time.
Yeah, I think because the elevation, you know, I heard what was coming out around me, and I heard what was happening in the industry, you know, in the majors and everything, and I just knew that I could compete, you know, with a lot of them, and I stuck myself out there like that. You know, I was willing to take the criticism. I'm willing to take, you know, all the comparisons. You know, they comparing me to such and so, whatever. It's all good because at the end of the day, I feel West Coast hip hop is in a place right now where you got, you know, the DJ Mustard sound in LA, you know, New California sound, which is ill too, you know, that party, turn up kind of stuff. But I just wanted to let everybody know that the West Coast, they got skills too, no matter if they're black, white, brown. I could compete too, you know what I mean? So I just really wanted to keep shooting for the stars, man. I don't really know no let up, you know. Yeah. I haven't seen a stop sign since, bro. You know what I mean? Since I put my foot on the pedal, so
that's what's up.
So I see.
You was kind of talking about it, but what would you say your story is?
It's the come from shit, you know, to something. I mean, it's not a basic one. I do have a crazy, you know, how would you say, like testimony to where I'm at now. And I feel if the fans out there are connecting to it now, they could go back and look at all my previous work and they could hear the elevation, they could hear the struggles, and they could hear, you know, all the stories that I tell that are, you know, of authenticity of that time. So you can see and hear like the struggle, like even in the videos, and you can see that, you know, they're not well, you know, put together. But, you know, as you grow as an artist, obviously if you take this shit seriously, you're gonna start investing in yourself, you know, to make yourself you know, be highlighted other than just, you know, doing the regular, you know what I mean? So my testimony, man, is crazy. And I feel one day I'll put together something, you know, so that people could really get a gist of where I come from, you know. But, you know, for now, I put it all in the music, man, you know. They can hear it all in the music for sure.
And then who's some of your influences in the music?
Well, you know, I'm a Wu baby. You know, I'm a Wu-Tang baby for sure.
Who your favorite Wu member?
Inspect the Deck, man.
Okay.
INS, man. I mean, Jizza though, I mean, shit. I mean, it's like trying to say if you know, you like shit, if you like OG Kush or if you like a cookies or something. Yeah. Put me in a tight spot. But if I would have to choose, I would say it's INS and then Jizza. But I love them both the same. But INS, just like a little bit more only because the content, and he's just always just on point, bro. Like I can't, I never heard no shit from him that, but you know, I like them all, bro. You know, I'm a Ray fan, you know, I'm a Ghost fan, you know. I think you guys the one that probably is like least on the list, but even he got some shit too, man, you know. They always try to throw him out there like he ain't really have shit, but you know, I give my man, you got some props, man. He got some joints, you know what I mean?
Then describe your creative process when you're making music.
This right here, light up.
What you smoking on?
I'm smoking on some Salamander OG, man, and that's some shit that me and some curators actually, you know, we put together on this side, and I've been running that strain for the past 3 years. So it's some smoke that I come in contact with that me and my people all know about, and when it hits, and it's here and then it's gone. You know what I mean? So it's a connoisseur with. It's an indica. It's a San Fernando OG, and it's one of the first original cuts of the San Fernando OG, so it has that like just that straight gas. You know what I mean? It's some top A grade shit, man.
Hey, my brother's sitting on some seeds from the '90s. I'm trying to get him to grow it.
Oh, see,
I
hey
can't
man,
wait to smoke that shit.
when you got shit like that, bro. When you got shit like that, and you bust them out, 15 years later, you know what I mean, something like that. Oh boy, that shit's like almost like how'd you say, like a nostalgia. If you're smoking some old, like, oh man, this shit reminds me when I was in fucking high school, kind of shit. So
what's your current projects you working on?
Right now I'm about to release this Sincere Leader Part 2. That drops the 20th of this month on all platforms. And right before that, which was like last month, I think, I dropped a project fully produced by Rock Marciano, which is one of my favorites, of all time, in my top 5, and I was just really blessed, man, to, put that project together and do it right. I got the vinyl treatment for it. So we got the vinyl up at Tough Kong Records. We got it up on.
How much the vinyl cost?
I believe it's $30, and then they have a limited edition one that's clear with splatters on it. I think that's $35 or something like that.
I got my player coming in today, man. I might have to cop one.
Oh, for sure, man. I actually bought a record player too, so when my shit comes, I could play my shit, man. And it's my first vinyl, so I took it, like an achievement, because it definitely was. And for the project to be fully produced by Rock, it was, it was that much more of an accolade towards what I was trying to do, man.
Yeah, I want to shout out Underground Hip Hop. They're my homies. Like, actually, one day we was in San Diego downtown doing a rap contest. We was judges together. I forgot his name. But
okay.
But I heard that freestyle you did. That shit was tough, man.
Oh, thank you. That's actually one of the joints that's on the record. So, Rock produced that shit too. So, yeah, man, that recent one is, they put the whole campaign together for me too, man. Shout out to Underground Hip Hop Blog, for real. They put that together real right for me. Appreciate that.
So what's a successful career for you? What is that? How do you describe that?
I kind of feel I'm already living a successful career, man. I toured overseas. I've been overseas. I've opened up for legendary artists. I've connected. What was that?
I said, don't drop them names. Who you open up?
Oh, man. Dilated. Man. Nipsey Hussle. Oh, look at it, man. As a matter of fact, I got a ticket right here. A ticket from the show, the actual show that we had did. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, there's honestly, man. If they came to LA and they hip hop, we opened up for them, man. And that's obviously.
Are you you know how, like, I don't know, people know, but it's always been that underground LA scene that's really dope that people don't know about. Cause you remember, like, Pac Div, nobody really knew about them. So
we opened up to them. We actually came up, like, I've been rapping since then, bro. Like, but I just feel at that time I was a part of a group, you know what I mean? And at that time we weren't ready for that shit. Like, we were just on the rise, but we were opening up. We had projects and stuff, but we just weren't ready as a unit to be on the level of like a Pac Div or the Cool Kids or like shit like that. You know what I mean? Even knowing like Alchemist and Big Twin, from Infamous Mob, but he's like our big brother. Like,
why you say y'all wasn't ready?
I just feel musically and personally as artists, and even sonically, like the music, it just wasn't right. It just, it was, to us, it was dope, but I feel like at that time, if it did get in the hands of like Alchemist or like the hands of like a DJ Muggs or something, it just wasn't right. You know what I mean? But I feel now, me as an artist, I've grown, and the other guys in my group too, I suppose, and Illward, shout out to my clique, they're working too. So I feel now shit's kind of coming full circle for us as a group, but also individually as well too, which is what should have been done in the first place. You know what I mean? We should have, you know, developed us first and then came together as a group. But we developed as a group and then we try to come out and it kind of just, you know, different egos and different agendas and stuff. It just didn't work out. But now we're older. We see what needs to be done, and you know, financially we can make it happen. Musically, we can make it happen. So we're just, you know, I got a project with my group that's pretty much in the stash that I'm waiting to put out, you know, with them. And
What's the name of your group?
the Rhyme Addicts.
The Wine Addicts?
The Rhyme Addicts, yeah.
Oh, Rhyme
Yeah.
Addicts. Okay.
Yeah. And
So
yeah,
y'all got music out already or no?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Like if you go to YouTube and you type in Rhyme Addicts, RHYME ADDICTS, you'll see all that shit up there, bro. And you'll see shit from like 2002, 2003. Like we've been doing this shit for years, but I feel like now's the time to hit them off because, you know, Griselda kind of opened the doors, you know, for that real shit, you know, for that real shit to come back. And I feel I'm even catching a little bit of that wave too, man. So, you know, shout out to them as well, you know. And
Well,
just
I go back to, I mean, if you talking about Griselda, it go back to Wu-Tang because
oh yeah,
Raekwon was co-signing them. So Raekwon opened the door for them because I remember when I first heard they CD, I heard on the intro, he co-signing them. So it's like really go back to Wu-Tang, you know. But then it's cool. I like that shit. It's cool.
Yeah. So I feel like, you know, you can get a little bit from a lot of what's happening right now. Like there's a lot of new talent on the rise, and you got a lot of older cats too that are dropping shit as well. So I feel it's a good space for hip hop heads, you know, that are truly about the art and, you know, want to support real hip hop. I feel now y'all can support it. There's plenty of artists that are up on the rise, man, from all around the globe actually that you can support that are really kicking that real shit, man, you know.
And then what are some of your interests outside of music?
I'm a cannabis connoisseur. I'm a father. I like to do a little bit of philanthropy here and there, you know, for the homeless people here in LA. You know, I'm just an all around dude that pretty much is living what I set out to do, and I kind of want to let it be known that anybody could do this shit, bro. Like you could come from ground zero and build your palace. You know, you just really gotta fucking work hard, bro. You know what I mean, and put the effort in to really do it, man. And you know, like I said, bro, for years I would release shit and just get, you know, crickets and shit. It was discouraging at times, and you know, I could have gave up, and I could have been like, "Well, shit," you know. Just and I've seen a lot of people give up, bro. I've seen a lot of them. They tapping in.
I see rappers. I be following. You know, I say I've been doing it 12 years, so I seen rappers actually like just change their profile name, just go back to regular life.
Go regular life, yeah. And it's to me, I see that, and I'm fighting for that dude. Like, I'm not giving up because of him.
You living through him,
I mean?
Yeah. He living through you, probably.
Bro, yeah, bro. And you know what? That's just how it is, bro. I get a lot of cats now that we came up with. You know, they tapping in now. Hey, man, you know what's up? And it's all love, but we're on a different agenda now, man. Like you know, I done put time, money, effort.
Yeah, you need somebody
sweat, tears.
You gotta be equal.
Yeah. And honestly, if we ain't even equal, and you want to use what I've established already through this game by not giving up, and you want a piece of that, you can break some bread, homeboy.
Yeah, you gotta break
that's
some
how
bread.
We gonna work it. Yeah, you know, because I broke bread and I fucking bled and I sweat and I sacrificed something to be here. You know what I mean? So it's like you want a piece of that just because you knew me back then. That's not respect. You know what I mean? That's just you seeing an opportunity to be a part of something that you feel just because you bought me a hamburger, you know what I'm saying, when we was kids, that you feel like you're entitled to what I have. Like, if you feel that kind of way, then, you know, go dig yourself a ditch because you ain't gonna get shit from me, man. You know what I mean? But I'll give any of those cats respect if they're doing it the right way. They're investing in themselves. They're putting their craft in with the schedule, because I know a lot of cats that had to quit because, you know, they had kids and they had to work a job. And hey, I have a son too, and I have a family too, and I got a business that I have to run too, and I got shit that I got to do too. But I never use that as an excuse to not give what I love the attention. You know what I mean? So that shit sit there, man. What was that?
What business you into?
The weed shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? The salamander,
Okay, you can hit me up,
XPOG.
man. Shit, I'm trying to get
Yeah.
a sponsor. I'm trying to get a weed sponsor straight up. I be smoking all the time.
Oh, bro.
People ask me
I
when
got
I'm
you, bro.
smoking, I could be saying your shit.
Oh,
They always
yeah.
ask me, man. I had like, yeah, we're actually doing an indie rap battle right now, man. So we got like 16 rappers I interviewed, and they're like going song get song, but it was live and
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Yeah, I was smoking. What you smoking on? What you smoking on?
We could have did a gift pack for him, dog. So
No.
you know, whoever won, they could have got that gift pack at the end, bro.
Well, it's still going on. So maybe you send 2 gift packs.
Yeah. well,
One for the homie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
All
you,
right.
bro. I'll give you my number, man, after this, and you know, we'll chop game, bro.
For sure. I would say, I want you to share an interesting story that happened in your life. It can be anything you want to talk about.
Man, I would say, just off the top, I would say this one time, well, one of the times when I went to Europe, I was actually at the airport exchanging money into pounds because I was going to go to the UK, and on my way back up the escalator to the waiting area for the plane, some girl like it taps me on my back and she's like, hey, I just want you to know that the Lord told me to tell you that you're gonna do really great things, you know, like, and I'm just kind of like, the fuck, like this chick's kind of crazy, you know. And she's just like speaking about the Lord and stuff. And honestly, man, I'm not a religious person, but I do, you know, believe in a higher power. You know what I mean? A divine intervention and things like this. And so anyway, she just tells me her testimony, how she got into being she would travel and speak for the Lord, you know what I mean? And she was a Christian, so she would travel and stuff like that. But she said the reason why she even got into religion was because she tried to commit suicide. And it didn't work, obviously. And I guess she seen the Lord, you know what I mean? She had like she told me she had like a interaction with him and kind of like, you know, she knows for sure that he's there. So she's like telling me all this stuff, whatever. And it comes time, you know, for the flights to go. And I'm like, where you flying to? She's like, oh, I'm flying to the UK as well. So I kind of like tripped out on, I was like, all right, that's crazy. Like, oh, she's on the same plane as me too. Like, that shit's weird, you know? So then after that, we're going into the plane and her fucking ticket, bro, her seat number was right next to mine as well, bro. Like right next to me, bro. I swear, dog. So the whole flight, she's just like telling me about like how she travels for, you know, to you know, preach and like where she's going and who she's met and all this stuff. And then you know, obviously it was a long flight, so we didn't speak the whole time, but it's just crazy how that happened. Anyways, when we're exiting the plane, as we're exiting, she's like, the Lord wants me to pray for you. You know, he's telling me that you have issues with your feet, because I have flat feet, bro. Like my feet are like this flat, bro.
So your arch be fucked up.
Yeah, I got no arch. So I can't really be on my feet for too long. Like, you know, my shit start hurting, and then, you know, my knee, it goes to my knees and my hips, my back, whatever. So she was like, I know you're gonna be on your feet this whole tour. Like, I know you're gonna be moving and doing all this stuff. He wants me to pray for you that, you know, healing in your feet and in your body, so you can endure this shit, because tour life is hard, bro. You know,
she didn't know that?
Huh?
She didn't know that?
That what? That,
she didn't know
that
that
I had problems with my feet?
Yeah.
Nah, she didn't know that about my feet, bro. She didn't know that, bro. And that's I'm telling you, she had a lot of these little, like, small little things, bro, on this trip that once I was out there, dog, like and I was in the clouds too, and I really, bro, I felt the connection with the Creator, whether it was Jesus, whether it was Allah, whether it was whoever it was up there, bro. I felt connection 100% from the time I left LA to the time I got back. And even now, just speaking about it, it brings me this like energy, bro, like this energy source that I can always tap back into, because I know that there's something up there, bro. Like she didn't know me, bro, from a fucking hole in the wall, man. So it's crazy. It's crazy, man. But that's a crazy story about just how I know I'm on that right path, bro. You know what I mean? And I feel that a story like that needs to be told, because it's definitely a divine one, bro. It was you know, something out of the ordinary and shit, bro. And I've been blessed throughout my life, man, to you know, see and hear stuff and know that it's not of this world, bro. So I just lay it like that. You know what I mean?
What advice would you give to new artists?
Just keep going, man. Don't even let yourself talk yourself out of this shit. You know what I mean? As hard as it seems, and as you know, far-fetched as it seems to everybody else and yourself, just keep shooting, bro. Keep putting shit out, you know, and do it at your own pace, you know. Don't be hard on yourself. Speak life into yourself. Speak, you know, what you envision yourself to truly be. Speak it into existence, you know, over the music and all that shit. Even if you ain't got it, bro, because you know you know you will acquire it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's the ultimate thing, is just keep on shooting, bro. Just keep on going, you know?
You just dropped a major key right there. So you into like manifestation and stuff?
Yes, sir. And that's what we do as artists. And I think the more you do it, the more you want to do it. It's like having a kid, bro. It's like you get these beats, which the producer pulled out of the universe, right? He didn't just magically give you the beat. He had to chop it and do his thing. So he pulled those ideas out of the universe. Then he shot me the beat, and then I pull out ideas from the universe and make it rhyme and put it, you know, mathematically over the beat, I would say, in a verbalistic way, because it's not mathematics that you're speaking, but you're speaking words into mathematics. So once that happens, you put that shit on a CD, and then once you grab the CD, it becomes something that you can touch. So you're doing alchemy at its finest. You know what I mean? You're pulling out ideas from the earth. I mean, from the universe, and the producer's pulling ideas, and then you guys are putting it on something that's tangible, you can touch. And now it's like a baby, bro. It's like, you know, it came from a thought to something you could touch. So I always see the projects I release almost as intricate and almost as beautiful as life being, you know, manifested. You know what I mean?
Right. Bro,
And
that's
no, that's that, bro.
Yeah.
Like once I tapped into that, and like I seen it like that, homie. That's what keeps me going.
I
That's
know,
what keeps
they're
me
like,
going.
yeah, gonna keep you going right there. That's a real shit.
Yeah, that should keep me going, because like, yo, I could create, like, you know, like a god. Like, I'm the god of this universe that I'm
make money off of
around.
it too.
And you can make money off too. You can feed your family with it. You can, you know, you can achieve a lot of great things through this hip hop art form, dog. And that's why I'm really so thankful, man, for hip hop, because like I said, you know, you had asked me, man, you know, what's hip hop for me? Like I said, it's my life. It's who I am, and I don't know anything else. You know, I'm a good dad. You know, I'm good at a lot of things, but MCing is what this is what I do, man. You know what I mean?
What would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
Just, man, I love you guys, man. I wouldn't be here without y'all, and I feel even if I had 2 fans, I would keep rapping, bro. And I see the fan base growing. I see the views. I see the likes, and I just appreciate 100%, man. And just know I'm gonna keep the art 100% above everything. So you ain't gotta worry about me, you know, trying to sell out, do this, that, the other, because I know where I come from and I know where I'm trying to go. So that's all there is to it, man. If you roll it with me, then we headed towards the top. You know what I mean? That's
All right,
facts.
man. I want to say thanks for coming through politicking with me.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. And like I said, G, hit me up, you know, and maybe we can sponsor the show for you and shit, man. Get it popping like that.
For sure. I'm going to say, what's your social media?
You can catch me at XP The Marxman on all social media outlets, and that's XP TheMarxman on all platforms. And that's YouTube, IG, Twitter, Facebook, all that good shit.